going on here? Let's go to my channel. How do you find live streams? I don't know. Oh, there we are. Should probably change the name of this. What is this? What are we doing today? We're doing ambient mixing spontaneous streaming Stuesday. I'll change the description later. Probably shouldn't be doing all of this live, but hello everybody. If anybody's here, I don't know if anybody's here. I'm gonna just write something in the chat. Hello world. And turn this down. And let's see if that pops up on the chat there. Is it popping? Yeah, it's popping up on the chat. It's very high up. Let me change that as well. We're just, we're breaking all kinds of fourth walls over here. How's this? Well, let's check it out in Reaper. Yeah, that should do the trick until I open some kind of effects chain. Maybe I'll just put it on the side. I know this is riveting television right here. But yes, how's everybody doing? If there's anybody watching, I see that there's one person watching. So hello, welcome. Say hi or something so I know who you are. So today, I was doing some freelance work that I found on Fiverr. And I was about to mix it, and then I was like, wait a minute, I should stream this, because whatever, why not? Maybe it'll be fun. Maybe it'll be a total disaster. We'll definitely find out. Yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit about the project that I'm about to mix. I got approached by somebody on Fiverr, and they wanted. I have a bunch of services on Fiverr, like I do Foley and I do jingles, and I also do background music. So somebody wanted background music for their yoga instructional videos, and yeah, I took the job because I'm kind of poor these days, and they couldn't pay me my usual rate, and so I gave them a big discount, and I told them that all right, with this discount, I'm gonna not be spending a crazy amount of time on your music. I'm gonna be just spending a little bit of time on your music. So this is a very quick and dirty 8-minute piece that I wrote for a yoga channel. They kind of gave me a few reference tracks to kind of model my composition over, which I obviously can't play for y'all. But it's, kind of slightly more than regular, like slightly more busy than regular yoga music. So they didn't want that ambient kind of drony music, but they wanted, like, they wanted somewhat of a composition, kind of a, um, but, kind of a soft, warm, like poppy sound. I'll actually give you the notes that they gave me. It's all right here. They said gently activating, slow rhythm, sensual flow. So I wrote like an intro for them that's very kind of ambienty. And then this is when, like in the video, things start to kind of kick off, and like, now you're working. And they wanted some African percussions. They wanted slow but complex rhythm. They wanted some Foley elements, and they wanted more acoustic instruments rather than like really synthy stuff. I sent them one mix, or I sent them one kind of rough idea, and they were like, oh, like put some piano in there, put some chords in there. So that's what happened. So anyway, I was trying to yaps to see if, more people will show up, but maybe not. But hello, that one viewer. I appreciate you. Or I guess I should look into here. I'm looking at my chats over here and then looking over here. Anyway, all right, enough yapping. So I'll kind of show you the project. I got my percussion bus, and I should say like my normal mixing templates wouldn't really work here because my normal mixing template, I mean, I make like kind of progressive rock, alternative, indie, that kind of stuff. So my normal mixing templates wouldn't really work here. So I kind of made a new template for this, and because I'm gonna get a bunch of jobs from these people, I think it's worthwhile to make their own template. So I got like a percussion bus, I got a bass bus, I got pads, and then I got all my lead instruments in one bus. And then some things aren't in any buses, like pianos. Like I got basically two pianos that aren't in going through any buses. And actually, right now, I don't really have anything on my buses other than a regular EQ. But need be, I would go and like set up some kind of a, what do you call those? Like an NLS channel or something like that. And yeah, because they couldn't pay me too much money, obviously, I'm going to be doing this quick and dirty. So I'm going to be breaking a lot of rules that normally I wouldn't break, right? So, for example, as you can see, I haven't even frozen my tracks because, well, I've frozen some of them, but it's a very small mix. It's only like about, I don't know, 15 instruments. I actually told them I only make 10 instruments, but if I'm layering a pad or something, that let's just call that one instrument. So I'm breaking that rule, and also because in the middle I may decide to change a piano note here or there because I spend about 2 hours on this composition, or that's a lie. I probably spent 4 hours on this composition, and I'm planning to spend no more than 1 hour on the mix. Um, so that's the first rule I'm breaking, and the second rule I'm breaking is I'm going to mix straight into my master bus. As you can see, my master track is empty because I want to like A B between my I want to A B between my reference tracks and my own mix without the reference tracks going to my master bus. But I'm going to be mixing into my master bus, which is again something a lot of people say don't do, but I don't have time to like mix it and then go into like a master bus and then have to rebalance everything. So I'm just doing it real quick and real dirty, and that's how I can get to have this project basically be worth my time, because otherwise this would end up costing me money if I was doing everything properly. So let me just engage my master bus and I'll show you that. I got one EQ that right now isn't doing anything. It's a correction EQ. Then I got some frequencies EQ, and this is like a weird thing where, I don't know, maybe you'll laugh at me. I always feel like sight unseen, there's like a little bit of noise and buildup of weird frequencies around 693 hertz. So I always just turn that down. I also have a low pass at like literally just over 20 hertz, or sorry, low cut. And then I have like this air band on this IOSys Premium EQ, just slightly boosting. This is my favorite EQ. I put it on everything. It's actually on my default Reaper track, and there's many reasons for that. And one of the reasons is the presets are awesome. The presets are not curves per se. Well, let's show you what the presets are. Why not? So the presets in this are all flat when you open them. So let's like open a drum bus preset. As you can see, it's totally flat. But what it does have is some frequencies and Q values dialed in for certain frequencies based on what you want. So you got a drum bus, you want to clean up the low, there you go. And it's at 30 hertz and it's got a slight boost that kind of kicks in right around 40 to 50. It's got the sub range, and again, that's in a slightly logical place. I would put my sub range kind of closer to 50-ish. Then it's got like a bass range, and it's wide and looks like that. Then for snare and body, presence, brightness, and then if you want to smooth it out, you can just have a slight kind of high cut. So I really like the presets on this, and there's a bunch of other things that I really love about this EQ. So that's what I slap on everything. So I got this. I got a monomizer, and that's just makes my low end mono. So it's going from anything below 65 is fully mono. Then between 65 and 160, it's going slightly from fully mono to like, 90% mono. And anything after 155, it just lets go. I got two tape plugins, and again, I'm using presets for those. I really like this preset, mastering mid frequency enhancer on the old JS37. I got a Kramer tape stereo. I got this ARTG mastering, which is just the best. You literally slap it on anything and it just makes it shine. And I don't have the limiter on this engaged. I just have it kind of like compressing the hell out of everything. I have one more EQ for any kind of post mastering chain balance, and then I got an L1 plus ultra maximizer as a limiter. Set to auto release, and we'll dial in these values later. So this is my quick and dirty mastering chain, and this is what I have when I want to like master something, but not really, like not really actually spend time on mastering something. And that's really useful, like if you're pitching any kind of idea to like a filmmaker, or if you're doing any jobs on Fiverr. One thing I've learned is that clients don't really understand mixing and mastering and all those things. So you can't really give a rough draft of your composition to a filmmaker and expect them to understand that, okay, this is not mixed yet and this is not mastered yet. So if they get a pitch from you and the bass isn't already pumping and everything isn't really bright and the reverb isn't all dialed in, they won't like it, and they can't look past, the mixing and mastering and just understand that this is just a pitch. So you're trying to get them to just kind of see the composition. So whenever I pitch anything to anybody, from the very kind of rough stages, I just kind of render through this quick and dirty mastering chain, and it sounds like pumped enough and loud enough that I know that would help the filmmaker actually focus on the composition when I want them to. And then I always tell them, like, I'll mix this like down the line when the composition is locked in. But yeah, it's something that don't expect them to really understand. And I'm sure there are things in the video realm that we don't understand. Got a bit of a mouth clicking going on because I'm kind of thirsty. So, and who's watching? Give us a hello. Give us a shout. I know I haven't even started. I'm just trying to set the stage and whatnot. So just give us a hello or whatever. Oh, I forgot to put the whatever. All right, so that's my quick and dirty mastering chain, and I'm right now gonna keep this on as I mix, and the reason for that is, as I said, time. There's also a video component to this, but obviously I can't show you that, and there are reference tracks which I obviously can't play for you because YouTube will flag this. So I'm just gonna play a little bit of what I've written, and let's check it out. I'll play you my favorite part because it's my favorite part. Kind of, around here. Hearing some clicking, so I knew that I would regret not freezing the tracks as soon as we started live streaming, so hopefully it'll go well. But that's the basic gist of the song. Very simple chord progression, soft kind of acoustic instruments, gentle rhythm, It's at 55 BPM, which is definitely the lowest I've ever gone in any composition. And yeah, let's mix this thing. So, and again, my philosophy when quick mixing something like this, where I basically wasn't paid enough to scrutinize every instrument, is that I engage a mastering chain. Most things sound okay. One thing that I notice is sounding less than okay are the congas. So let's hear the congas. And I like to solo in front, so it like kind of dims, but it doesn't actually solo it. Oh, you're hearing something you shouldn't be, and that's the reference track. Let me just mute this for safety. All right, what's happening? Of course, all of this stuff happens as soon as we. Yeah, so with solo dim, with solo in front on, I'm hearing the solo track louder, but I hear everything else too. Jesus, what is happening? Thank you. Mare Production, is it? Or Mare? Mare? I'm going with Mare. Thank you so much. I hope this would be great. And let me know if you hear like a bunch of weird clicks, because I sure am. And I don't know why. It's always a good time to check the performance meter there. Whoa, what you hear? And let's see, we're at 21%. Nothing too horrible. But all right, let's just. Sometimes when things start to get ugly, I just save, and that usually works. No, I'm getting weird clicks. Let's disengage the master bus for a second and see what happens. Okay, I think no clicks. Yeah, definitely let me know if you still hear any click or weirdness. I'm also routing Reaper to OBS through this weird like virtual interface. I wonder if that's an issue too. So yeah, here we are with the congas. And the congas basically, well, they need compression, right? We hear there. When you hear it in the mix, I'm just hearing the tap of them, but I'm not really hearing like a good presence from them. So let's fix that. What do we got here? Let's add a little. What's good? H comp is always good. That's my. That's as close to a go-to compressor as I have. I'm gonna solo dim this. Just also. Yeah, Andreas, that's what I noticed, and that's a big shame because I was definitely hoping to mix into that thing. But whatever, we'll do some stuff, and maybe I'll stop the live stream at some point and just rebalance everything. That's a shame though, because I did test the mastering chain before I started the live streaming, and it was working fine. And again, this is something I use all the time. So I don't know. I should upgrade my computer too. I'm just so goddamn broke. All right, so here we are in H comp. Just gonna set a threshold. I don't know if I want it. Yeah, maybe 3-ish. And one thing everybody says is like, adjust the threshold until it's around 6. I always say maybe sometimes you need more. Right now I'm feeling like we may not need too much more. I really like this punch parameter in HComp because it tries to maintain the transient, and then this release amount is crazy high. Yeah, I'm trying to just kind of catch the transients and let the body go. And I'm gonna just help it along with a slight amount of, and well, let's go to the full mix and adjust that. go a little bit nuts. It's always good to go quite extreme and then come back. Oh, hey, it's Mage Prometheus. Hi, Mage. You're cool. You're like my biggest fan. You know, whenever I'm feeling down, I literally, I'm not joking. Like when I feel down, I'm like, if I stop making YouTube videos, Mage would be sad, and then that keeps me going. Also, Andreas, you guys are all my top folks. Power to ya. Should put this here, and then I can see the chat. Thank you. Yeah, it was nice to get past 1K subs, and I also, I mean, I'm still like under, or I'm just over 1,000 watch hours, and you need 4,000. And that's because my tutorials are short. And YouTube definitely gives you an incentive to waste everybody's time with a bunch of bullshit at the beginning of every tutorial. But, you know, whatever. For 3 months, we're doing okay. And I'll make more tutorials and do more live streams. And oh, Reaper there are a lot of Reaper stars in the sky. You got the Let's Talk About Reaper. You got Hi YouTube, I'm Dad, and I wouldn't even actually. I'm gonna write these names in the chat. Hi YouTube, I'm Dad. I wouldn't even call a Reaper channel per se, because he actually kind of teaches mixing, and a lot of what he teaches, Adam, his name is, he you know, goes beyond Reaper really. He just talks about mixing, and a lot of good tips there, and also just really funny guy, really cool fella. And so is Mike. Well, Mike is definitely a Reaper star in the sky, and well, thank you. I'm glad to be among these folks. Yeah, those two names that I dropped are two other kind of Reaper channels that are also up and coming. So check them out. Give them some subs. I was hoping Mike would show up, but I don't know. That guy's busy. He does like a lot of stuff. Anyhow, let's keep going with this conga. Okay, so yeah, we're dialing in the output value, and so as you can see, there's a lot more body, and this is just too much output. So what I'm gonna do is actually start bringing it down. But it's always good to go a little insane with any parameter, and then that will let you know what the non-insane amount is, if that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't know if 4.9 dB is enough of a boost until I went to 9 and realized, okay, 9 is too much, 3 is not enough, kind of deal. And you know, we'll probably come back to this once we do something with that kick and bass as well. I'm gonna also send it to my percussion reverb a little bit. Again, let's go nuts. It's so slow, this song. I would like it at 75 BPM or something. Another tradition I always buck with these with these Fiverr jobs is that I use way too much reverb, because people love that. I don't want to be a hack or anything, but if you paid me, you know, for 6 hours of work, I'm going to be taking some shortcuts, and hopefully that is well understood in the entire industry. You underpay, I cut corners. Okay, I'm happy with that now. I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. I'm holding command to fine dial the volume. good enough for government work, as they say. My shaker loops I'm not sending to a reverb because they were already recorded with like reverb on them, and again they sound fine. If it sounds fine, don't fuck with it, especially in this case. If anybody has like questions or comments about the composition, with the knowledge that this is like, you know, a 4-hour composition, definitely let me know. Okay, both of these bad boys need to come out a little. You know, I'm a man of faith. I'm gonna turn on the master bus one more time. I guess we'll dial in the limiter and my mastering ARTG later, but at least we're mixing into the tape emulators. I'm anticipating a loud thing happening now. Yeah, this charango ensemble, I actually have a little bit of a compressor on it already. This is by Labs. Okay, Andreas, cool, yeah. Everything you hear on this track, and I'll solo the kick for you while I yap over it. Everything you hear is either from East-West or it's from Labs. And Labs is free and it's by Spitfire, and East-West is not free at all. And it's actually like an orchestral library, but I don't own Superior Drummer anymore due to a mistake that is entirely my own. And because of that, I have been using like the drum sounds from that. But I agree, everything in East-West just comes really nice sounding out of the box. A lot of it is just like mastered already, and that's because they want to like sell it to you like right out of the box, but also makes for quick composing. And this is the I can find the drum for you. It is the East-West Pro Drummer Spike Stand Hybrid Kit 1. And actually, let me show you another drum sound from East-West on this project that I really like. And it's this thing called Explosive Drums. And that's from the, whatchamacallit, the Ghost Rider pack. And that's a pack that's been, like, some of the stuff on it is by Steven Wilson from Porcupine Tree. And I'm not a huge fan of the music of Porcupine Tree, but I'm definitely a fan of the way they mix everything. And yeah, this sounds awesome. Let's listen to this. And it's a little bit subdued in this track because, again, this is a yoga track and I don't want explosive drums in it, but it's a really nice sound. Let's go here. So this is the drum and snare, like the kick and snare, pretty normal, but then when you add this, it's literally explosive, and it gives a little bit of like room and width, puts that behind the drum and snare. I really like it. Yeah, Labs is the best. I mean, everybody should have Labs. It's literally free goodness. Free analog goodness, as Adam from Hi YouTube I'm Dad says. Alright, let's get back. The only instrument I actually performed on this track is the bass, which is sticking out like a sore thumb. I did some stuff on it. I just boosted the pre-effects volume of some of the bits. And that's to compensate for my own bass's pickups being a little wonky, and they pick up the kind of bottom two strings, the higher two strings a little worse. Alright, let's recenter ourselves here and go back to the charango ensemble. Right here. And this is a sound from Labs, also Andreas. It's just very abrasive. It sounds good, but it's very abrasive. It's already pretty down. Maybe I like it a little louder. I got a compressor on it. And it's cutting a lot because their attacks are like hardcore. So if you don't listen to people who say don't reduce more than 60 dB. If you need more than 60 dB of reduction, you gotta do it. And let's send this bad boy to its reverb. I do like it around here. Yes, it does sound slightly out of tune. I like things that are out of tune. One of my favorite albums is a solo project by John Frusciante, and I forget the name because I forget all names of anything. And it just feels like he's not tuned anything throughout the entire recording process. Even from like verse to chorus, the tuning goes off a little and he just doesn't care. There's a way of tuning Labs right here. If you feel like you want to tune it. Also, side rant about Labs. This is terrible UI design. Like, this is literally taking up my entire screen. And it's like this amount, totally emptiness, complete emptiness. All of this stuff could be like all above this. These could go on the bottom. This Spitfire audio could go in the middle or something. Like this can be a lot smaller. This can be... Anyway, just side rant. I hate that Labs takes up so much space. The UI is like trying to be cool, but it definitely pisses me off. All right. This is really distracting, I gotta say, too. Like, whatever, man. Are y'all having fun? Are you having a bully day? All right, let's check this out again. Maybe it does need to go down a tad. maybe it's good at this volume for here, but maybe it can come down a few dB. Because there's like a lead instrument behind it. I'm glad you think so, Andreas. A Russian hymn. Interesting. Which part? This one? This part I also think I may have stolen from Arcade Fire or something. Something that definitely happens is that I hear something and then it kind of goes to my unconscious mind and I don't remember what it is, but I kind of, it just stays on the back of my mind and then I lift it. No, not that part. Is it this part? Привет, 23 guitarist, как дела? I used to speak... Oh, that part, interesting. It also reminds me of Dancing Queen. Send me a link of that Russian hymn or something. Mage, you're totally right. Yeah, with the scroll bars, I agree. I wonder if there's a way around that. So you're saying like you open this and your screen resolution is too big and you're missing like a little bit of it, eh? I guess what you can do. Oh no, because if you resize it, you're still not getting extra scroll bars. That's a feature request, my friend. Очень приятно, 23 guitarist. I used to speak like a little bit of Russian and then I forgot. So that's sad. That's one of the sad facts of my life. Whenever I meet a Russian, I'm like, I used to be able to crack a few jokes in Russian and stuff like that and sing Pyatnitsa and stuff like that. I may still be able to sing Pyatnitsa. Cool, Andreas. I'm glad y'all are having fun. I'm having fun. I'm kind of having too much fun. I feel like I'm not working anymore. But whatever. You gotta let loose sometimes. Let's see what else to fix. I'm not really, again, don't use anything I'm doing right now. Do it if you need to mix quick, and don't do it for your own music that you sweat over, because it's all quick and dirty. It's a good thing we haven't frozen everything, because like I just noticed a bunch of things I want to change. Or not a bunch of things, but I want to grab some of these bits out of the dulcimer because it doesn't sound, just kind of want it on the longer notes. Whoops. that sound was gross. What was that? This is what happened when you work quick and dirty. Yeah, that was not a pleasant sound. Switch that to. There you go. This could be a good. Okay, what I'm hearing here is, again, I need a bunch of reverb. Here I got 2 Persian instruments doubling, and they're both wind instruments, and they're doubling each other at octaves. One is called duduk. Duduk may be Turkish, but it's, you know, whatever. It's in the Persian bank of instruments in East-West, and then there's the ney. Trick for the flute that's really good is to, I like to have its reverbs be pre, because I want to crank that. So I'm using a pre because I want to actually kind of get rid of a good amount of the dry and just have it like hover in the air. And then there's a classic sound of Labs, the granular piano. And actually now listening to it, I hate it. Yeah, this part, no bueno. Let's get rid of these top. Maybe you can stay. Nope. Change my mind. We're still getting some clicks, huh? Should have frozen my tracks. This is what happens when you do a spontaneous stream. Alright, let's go back to the beginning. Oh, this shouldn't be heard. Right off the bat. For my piano, I'm actually using something by Waves called Grand Rhapsody. Oh boy, getting clicky again. Nope, get out of here. If the live stream suddenly stopped, that's because I crashed. But yes. It's the Grand Rhapsody, and the one thing I like about this is this formant knob, and if you find your pianos are too sharp and bright, it's literally a one knob solution to that. I got it single mic'd on condensers, the way I like to mic a real grand piano. I'm gonna give it some reverb. The ER tail is like, do I want to sound close or far? And I want it to sound somewhat close. Now I got the master bus off, and I'm still getting a lot of clicks. Are y'all getting a lot of clicks? I don't even know. I don't even know what the solution to this would be, because the master bus is already off. And again, I don't think I'm like going nuts on the old performance there. Like 20%. That's an alright amount. I don't know. Should have frozen. Let this be a lesson to everybody who wants to live stream and not freeze their MIDI tracks. Okay, so this time I was listening and I was hearing the upright bass not sounding too nice. Again, it's a matter of like I'm hearing the attack and then very soon after not getting any power. One thing I can do, I'm gonna send this a little bit. Yes, R bass. So on my bus, on my bass bus, I don't have a reverb, just cause convention. But I got something like this. It's the R bass. R bass is amazing. It literally does everything that I want and more. It just makes anything that's bassy sound really good. Maybe we'll bring down the frequency a tad. Let's A B the R bass. So let's just loop this bit. This is no R bass. Okay, now this is with. Good cojones. I do want some compression on there too, though. This time I'm gonna bring the mix down. Actually, yeah, another good thing about H-Comp is you can essentially do parallel on one channel. So I just bring the mix down. And I feel like R-Bass took care of most of our problems in the realm of bass. Bring down a tad from this like mid region. But a very kind of narrow. And very subtle EQ, but I think I'm bringing a little bit more of that like warm, upright bass like sound, and getting rid of. I like the string noise, but I think the yoga crowd may not be down with it. So that's another thing we can do. Alright, let's use this one. You can do this. Yeah, right around that area. I want to do a little cutting. Maybe move this back. Actually, maybe instead of cutting, I'll do it properly, and I'll get an old F6 in here. Another one of my faves. And with the F6, can come around right around the noise region, and I'm gonna just not even bring the gain down. Sorry, bring the range down. And then bring the Q up. Maybe bring the gain down. That's tad. And then a little bit from here too. And I want the attack from this to be. Let's bring that down as well. And also the gain as well a little. Hearing another frequency in there, that's definitely problematic. I don't know if anybody hears that, but definitely we're not gonna hear that in the mix. But I'm gonna bring back the high cut a little bit. Alright, done with that. How long have we been going? Let's say. I've done some stuff too. Another one of those quick and dirty chains. Weird EQ action, compression, then a couple of things that kind of help warm it up. A trick I picked up from my good friend Adam from Hi YouTube I'm Dad. Bass amp, but we're no longer using it. So let's just get rid of that. This snare kind of sucks. Hey. I want to actually quite drastically compress. Again, we're not going for hype, we're going for softness. But let's give it a go. Let's give it a CLA2A a go. your parallel compression on your track and just bring it down. Got a little body there. Now I can turn it down. Coffee, black or with milk? I actually miss coffee so much because I got ulcers. It was a whole thing, and now I can't drink coffee. Hey Michelle, how you doing? Michelle Signorini. How are you? Yes, so I can't drink coffee, but if I could drink coffee, I would drink it like 98% black. Like I put such a small amount of cream that the color doesn't even change. Oh shit! Oh, Andreas, thank you so much. Ding! I see those live streams where when people donate, there's all kinds of ding ding ding. I gotta get something like that. But thank you so much, Andreas. That means a lot to me. I'm just, I'm just happy that people like the stuff I do, because every once in a while I am like 98% finished with a video and I check it out and I'm like, why would anybody watch this and why would anybody like this? So it's nice that some people like it. So, some of my videos I'm like, yeah, this is the shit. But most of the time I'm like, hey, why do people like this? But thank you so much, Andreas. Who were we? What were we doing? I think snare is alright. The kick I'm tempted not to touch at all. It's doing its thing. Like, should we sidechain? I feel like nah, I don't want to. What I'm not liking, like the weak link of the mix right now is the bass. But I'm feeling if we clear up the pads a bit, that may actually help. So I got a bunch of pads, and on my pads bus, I'm gonna straight up go and cut a bunch. So like a very subtle amount here, but then we can get another shelf. Extra work. Just go like 40. And then we can give it some air. Getting clicky again. God damn you, clicks. Maybe my virtual bus or something like that. I'm not sure. If the stream suddenly ends, that probably means I crashed, which never happens until I forget to save. So right now I'm not forgetting to save, so that's good. But yeah, okay. So I like having EQs on my buses for things that I layer, because right now I'm hearing what's clashing. There's a lot of clashing happening right around here on all my pads. And if I was, let's solo them. Yeah, like I'm gonna take this Azure piano, Azure. I really don't know how to pronounce anything. I've forgotten how to speak during COVID because I just read things off of screens. Yeah, you see these pokey bits? It also just has too much movement in the low, but whatever, we got rid of that. Okay, there's two things I want to cut. I'm going to cut some 1K. And then what's going on there? I want to cut some highs too. This is just one of the layers of the overall pads. So that when it comes in, let's check it out. Yeah, there's a bunch happening there that I'm not a big fan of. I don't remember doing this, but at one point I must have gone and done this. And why would anybody do that? Let's make that more subtle. And maybe cut like a 200-ish amount out of here. Let's exclusive solo this. It's a moving target. The frequency I don't like. Because with every note it's at a different place. But again, bringing down in general a little bit. And now let's go to the whole mix. Yeah, and this is what happens, right? So I got rid of some of the lows in the pads, and that made the bass kind of sit where I like it to be, and it made the conga way too loud for my taste. So now we gotta bring that down. Good question, Andreas. Well, currently, if I pause, you will hear a bunch of noise, but that's not because of Reaper. That's because of my Waves plugins. So I think, yeah, it's R bass right now. So if I mute this, it's gone. If you're hearing some noise, you may be hearing like noise from my microphone being active right now, but on my master channel I'm hearing, well, I guess -149, so something's happening. Let's see if we got anything else engaged in any way. Let me even turn down my mic. Let's get scientific. Yeah, sorry, I even turned down my own mic to check that. I don't hear anything. But if you like if you hear something, like you shouldn't hear anything. Um, like a blank project shouldn't sound like anything. And then there are some Waves plugins that try to emulate like analog gear, and those will definitely have noise in them. So R bass just has some inherent noise in it. Sometimes like H comp, if you have it on analog, that would have some noise in it. Yeah, there are a bunch of things that have noise in them, but otherwise it shouldn't actually matter at all. That said, like I know Studio One has like a lot of really cool features. I've never actually used it. I've used well, like I was like a Pro Tools person for a while. I was a Logic person forever, and then my first DAW was Ableton, which I actually still use. And there are some features from Ableton that I just like using, and I can actually like bus my Ableton completely to my Reaper. So I never felt like I have to make like a full switch from one thing to another. Um, and Studio One is one thing I would love to try and work with because it seems really cool. Some of its features seem awesome. Noise wise, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't like right now. I muted my bass bus, ugh, and I don't hear anything. But I mean, what is this? Minus 149 too. I don't know. Let's go to our meters here, and let's go to, well, yeah, like whatever I go to, um, they shouldn't pick anything up right now. Yeah, like even the spectrograph isn't picking anything up right now. Um, and let's see, let's go normal. Yeah, like my monitoring effects aren't picking up any sound. Um, once we got rid of a few things, but like I don't know what that could be. And one thing about Reaper is that right out of the box, Reaper has a bunch of settings that you gotta go ahead and say and change. If you want it to work kind of like other DAWs, there's a bunch of prefs that you may want to change. And all, well, I've been wanting to do a tutorial on that, but essentially I'd be repeating a lot of stuff that I learned from the Reaper blog and Kenny Joya. So I'll do at one point. I'll put a bunch of links to their videos where they talk about, but also if you just go like Reaper blog preferences, something like that, they would tell you some preferences that you should change, and changing those, yeah, like Reaper is definitely my primary, especially because I don't have Pro Tools anymore. But also, yeah, like I mean, use Studio One and Reaper both at the same time. Why not? Route your Studio One to Reaper or vice versa. Um, just have them both open and press play on both and let them fight it out. Why not? Um, but yeah, you're right. I mean, there's something being shown here, so that's peculiar. Minus 149. I'm definitely, my hearing doesn't hear that well in almost any of the frequencies because I used to play live shows and my ears are fucked. No, you're welcome. Thank you. If anybody else wants to donate to me, there's a thing on the bottom that shows you how, and you go to buymeacoffee.com, IDDQD sound, and then you can just buy me a coffee, even though I can't drink coffee. But I promise you that I would only spend it on drugs and equipment. So that's the IDDQD sound promise. Yeah, still not feeling the congas quiet enough. I really want to, at this point, go and run this through the... Really, at this point, want to go and run this through my mastering chain, but then it gets all clicky. But I think, like, it's pretty good already. Good enough for government work. Despite me being slightly annoyed by this. I don't know. Mixed feelings about the bass. I am astonished that you're 60. I mean, I didn't know how old you are, but that's pretty cool that anybody who is 60 would listen to my garbage. You are twice my age, Mage. I only hope that I make it to 60 and to be as cool as you are at 60. What does everybody think about these three elements? I'm feeling I want reverb. Okay, let's go nuts. this is something that happens often. See, right now, my eyes, right, and this is why they say use your ears, bro. My eyes are saying don't go over 0. That's wrong, but my ears are saying, oh, it sounds so good. So I'm gonna split the diff. I'm gonna go pre-fader. But that's just what sounds nice to me. And we can kind of muddy up this reverb a little bit. Just gonna. This is my favorite orchestral reverb. It's also by East West. Just has really good ERs, and I always actually just use the default. Sounds good to me. And the kalimba is a little sharp. Now we get this like lingering frequency though. Got a bunch of stuff happening there. Let's just cut all of that. Again, I like to do a hedge my bet with a shell. Just slightly bring this note down. That's good. That is the vibe that it needs to be. This is so not like the music I normally make, but it is the music the client asked for. Again, this conga, as soon as we cleared the low end, the conga is just sounding like too much to me. So then you go back and you're like, did I do anything weird and inadvisable? Yeah, I guess my output's a little too high. Here, what do I think about the Dilruba? Is it getting enough bass down? Maybe I can do this. Though it is the lead, I really want to like showcase the charango here. Charango is still not in love with it. What can we add to this? Ooh, I know what to add to this. Whenever something sounds not great to you, if you got it, put a vitamin on it. Don't have it, just put saturation on it. First of all, whatever's coming out of H comp is way too loud. Yeah, we gotta fix that. I can bring up the ratio, but barely compressing it. just an anomaly. Like, why does it sound so weird? And right out of labs, it actually kind of clips. So let's just bring this down a little. Get us some headroom there. I mean, I'm doing nothing in Vitamin and somehow. There we go. I know I can loop, but this kind of keeps me in the... Do you need anything from maybe like, whoa, 250. There we go. Maybe even vitamin goes before HComp, and then we actually know what's going on. Yeah, we're getting it like right out of labs. It's just clipping. So this is a weird. You are right not to use it, Andreas, because even it's like clipping out of labs and messing everything up. If I make it too quiet now, it's just too lame. This thing just likes to clip. But again, hey man, if we are not hearing it clip, I guess we're good. Still not in love with the sound though. This is my beef with labs, and not to, you know, count, what do you call it? Counting the teeth of a gifted horse, but like I know labs is free, but like on one hand you got the charango ensemble even at like 50% of volume or 37% kind of clipping everything. Ooh, thank you, Bo. That's right. Bo is here. Everybody say hi. He was on our last week little live stream. But yeah, like with labs, you got the charango clipping at 37 of volume, and then on the other hand you got the dulcimer, and that is right now at 100% volume, and I barely hear the damn thing. So what the hell, Spitfire? I know it's free, but like, come on. It feels like whatever like some of their employees did, and it like didn't pass like quality control. They're like, throw that shit on labs, which again, I appreciate it. I love the way they sound, but then as soon as I want to mix them, I'm like, what the hell is happening? Like, why are all my meters going nuts? So let's boost this dulcimer a little bit. Let's slap a vitamin on there. I know with this one, I want to boost. just wanted to kind of give a little flutter to the. Oh no. But now it's a little bit. This is one of those things where you want to freeze it and check out what's going on. Bo, so okay, so yeah, they do have an internal volume control with the charango, but like right now we put it at 37%, and it's still, you can see like how hot it's going into vitamin. So that's the weird thing about it. And once I bring it down, and yeah, you were saying use delta. Like, I mean, I can't use delta here, I guess, because before labs, nothing is happening. No audio is going into it. Only audio is coming out of it. And I think like it's right there where our problem is occurring. I may actually go later and change this sound. Again, because I am such an optimist in life. They are good. Does lab contain a compressor I can tweak? Not to my knowledge, but let's check it out. I mean, the interface is hella basic. Oh, tightness. Let's check out this tightness band. Good thinking. Let's solo it too. Okay, let's start from 0. Does anybody hear anything? Like any difference at all? I hear a slight difference once I go to like past 90%. No, that's alright, Bo. Not hearing too much of a difference here. I don't want to turn it down more because then it just doesn't sound good. That said, again, for the purposes of this mix, we're good. Oh, great idea. That could be the ticket right there. Let's check that out. Yeah, like what the hell is this? You know, let's high cut this. Yeah. Great idea, Bo. I'm gonna do that. And also, like, it's sharp right up to 20K. So I want to actually... It's so... like, sharp right to the end. And some of these... Maybe I went a little too nuts with the low cut. So now let's see if we're still clipping. I guess let's cut more stuff. What don't I like? I do like the sound. So this also could be a case of us, you know, using our eyes, because, hey man, sounds good to me. So whatever, let's just ignore all of this. Let's hear the mix. Like now it's too quiet, I don't even hear it. So I'm gonna crank this one. high-assing. It did help. It definitely helped, like, put things a little into whack. Into whack? Can you say into whack, or can you only be out of whack? And then once you're out of, or can you get back into whack? What's the deal with whack? Alright, good enough for government work. Yeah, I'm more or less happy with this. Again, I wish I could play this through my little mastering bus without clicking, but apparently we won't be able to. But I'm gonna just try one more time. And if we crashed, it was great talking to y'all. Oh, what did I do? Command Z. Alright. Let's see if we get clicks and clacks and klooks. So yeah, I got... We'll see if there's any more frequencies needing to be taken out. Happy with this. Happy with this. Happy with this. Oh jeez. Let's just click, 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 click. Let's play it one more time. Come on, I have hope. This is really my only secret to sounding good at all, is that I slap this on there. But somehow I can't. Somehow when I do it through the old Black Hole 16 channel, it starts sounding like this. Well, alright, goddamn you. And then I would just go to a busy part of the song. And then, yeah, the bass would fall out of whack. Alright, this mastering thing isn't working. Oh, thank you, Depressive Major. You gotta always be opening the door. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like, we did check that, and oh, that's the wrong thing to pull up. We did check my performance thing, and yeah, like, well, right now it's showing 29. It was doing good around 15 or something, so I should have frozen my tracks. But also, if we check here, the piano is taking 3%, and that's the most amount. Well, I guess let's play it. Yeah. So some of the lab stuff are taking a bunch of CPU, and then my master bus is only taking 2%. So I really thought I'd be all right there, but evidently not. And it was alright when I was playing it before I started live streaming. But when I live stream, I send my Reaper through this Black Hole 16 channel to OBS. So maybe that was the issue. I don't know. So I think I'm gonna just, you know, get off the old YouTube and check that stuff out, and then maybe I'll upload a video of it. Or I got a better idea. We're all friends here. You may lose sound for a while. Things may go weird. I just don't want to leave you guys. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, this is mono right now. I gotta do... okay, you no longer be mono. And I'm gonna monitor off. Well, if I play it now... Yeah. OBS is lame. It only picks up my like first 3 channels. I don't know how to... If there is a way of fixing it, I definitely don't know it. And if you do know it, let us know. So it goes like how many tracks, and it goes up to 6, and my mixer goes up to 12. So I've never been able to actually have it like hear my or have it like output my Reaper through my own interface, which is more than capable of doing it. Oh, buffer. Where's my buffer at? It is let's go, why not? Let's go 2048. Thanks, Depressive Major. I have become a radical left. I don't know what you mean by that, but I like it. Um, what is this? All right. Um, yeah, let's try it out. Doesn't hurt to try. Thanks for stay. This is riveting. Is this riveting television? Just troubleshooting my streaming audio. Hey, we're getting somewhere. Let's turn on the big guns. Nah. Oh my god. It's Reza. Chakerim Pesa. Oh, fixing that. Oh, radical lefty. I see. How do you fix that? Oh, you go mono. Um. Okay, now it should be okay. Chakerim Reza. This is Reza, my great friend from Istanbul. Yeah, I put up my buffer size, but that still didn't fix it. I know it's my virtual output that's actually causing me all this trouble. And yeah, it doesn't. I looked up online like how to make OBS recognize like larger interfaces, and they were like get the driver, but you can't really get the driver on a Mac, can you? I don't think so. Um, I'm no longer. I think I've gone back to centrist, right? um, so yeah, I really, this is kind of awkward because I don't know what else to show without going through the mastering chain. I mean, I can sit and nitpick all this stuff, but the whole point of this was for me to do it real quick, because it's for a Fiverr client and they didn't pay me my full wage. So I was like, I'm gonna cut corners. You put over 5,000. I mean, I think it's not even at this point the buffer size, cause we're not. Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay, let's try it. Let's try 5,000. I like to go. I like to adhere to the what do you call it? The powers of two. Let's go 4,096. And master bus is on. Let's play it. Okay, so far so good. Oh, we got a little bit of fuckiness. Um, Mage, that's very interesting. Um, I don't know what CPU cache swaps are. Um, I'm not, that that is the line of my knowledge in computers. I know like Google Sheets and I know a little bit of coding, but yeah, that went right over my head. But yeah, it's always obviously like a balance thing, right? I mean, I've never put my buffer size up too high, um, but it's it's one of those things where yeah, I've always done things properly too. So in this case, I should have frozen my MIDI tracks, and then that would have given me a little bit more of a um, leg room. But yeah, like, when you record, I just always knew like what to do kind of in practical terms. So when you record, bring the block size down or the buffer size down, and then that way you have less latency because it's not holding like 4,000 samples in a buffer anywhere. And then I brought it up for mixing. I've never gone up this high. It seems to be doing better. But yeah, it did have like that flutter. And no, Bo, I don't think they have standalone players. I'm not sure. I can always like render it and then play it for you guys. But then we won't be able to adjust it in real time. So so the whole point of me live streaming today was to show you that when I'm pressed for time, I just open this mastering chain and I mix right through it, and it breaks every rule that everybody says you shouldn't break, but it works quick, and clients love mastered stuff. They don't know what mastering is. They don't understand it at all. But if you give them unmastered stuff, they will definitely complain, and they think like the songwriting is bad. So even when I'm like pitching things to people, sorry if you've already heard this shtick, but yeah, like even when I'm pitching like very rough ideas to filmmakers and clients, I always put them through some kind of a mastering chain, because I know otherwise, like, they don't understand that like there's the composition and then there's the mixing and then there's the mastering. So if you give them something that's not like as loud as they've heard tracks be, they think you're like a bad songwriter. So I wanted to show that I like mix right in through my master bus and then I like adjust as I go. But just so that we could end this on some kind of a note and not just be like, all right, we'll see y'all later. I'm going to render this. Let's go time selection. Let's go whatever the name is important. Let's put it on the same thing. 48, 24, that's what they want. And add it to new tracks and project. And let's render offline. Well, I guess before I do that, I should at least eyeball the limiter. Whatever. We're having fun here. Are y'all having fun here? I'm just literally eyeballing the limiter. I'm also anticipating. What am I anticipating? I'm anticipating annoying stuff happening around here, but like whatever. Let's just hear the render. Shablaps and render it. We're going, yeah, so even when we're rendering offline, we're going like 1.4x real time, whereas normally I'm like at way higher than that. Um, so whatever OBS does also is kind of a CPU hog. And I think I was trying to optimize my OBS stats when I was doing the last live stream with Bo. And that so I think I went with like really crazy settings that people recommended for doing like a Skype and then streaming that Skype. So I should go and like dial those amounts in. Again, this was super spontaneous. Okay, what kind of mastering? So I showed it at the beginning of the stream, but basically it's a couple of EQs and then it's a couple of tape plugins. So it's the J37 going into the Kramer tape stereo, and both are using like presets. Actually, one of them is the on J37 I have the mid boost, and on Kramer tape I have mastering big and open. And then those go to one last like EQ in case like weird stuff happens. That's usually turned off until I hear something, and then that goes to an L1 Ultra Maximizer, and that's my like quick mastering chain that I just run any kind of project through when I want to pitch it to non-music people. Like if a filmmaker is paying me for some music, or if I'm scoring something and I'm sending it to a producer, or for any Fiverr job, I do that because people hear unmastered things and they somehow can't like focus on the composition. They start focusing on like, why isn't this as loud as Jay-Z? So mostly compression. Yeah, like oh, and there's ARTG mastering, which again I'm using one of their presets that I then like kind of tweaked. So it doesn't have a limiter, it has like a hard compressor, and it does some mid-side EQing and stuff like that. I'll show it to you after the render is done. I was definitely not expecting it to take this long. And like major, if anybody else knows, like, does your buffer size, for example, affect the speed of your offline renders and stuff like that? Or that's just a playback thing from what I understand? Like, if anybody knows the answer to that, let me know. Because I've never had offline 1.3x. I've always had it like 9x, 10x. So if anybody knows the answer to that, enlighten me. But yes, but when we're done, I'll show you the chain one more time. And one thing I like to do is this is just something I noticed at one point in my life, and I don't know if now I'm placeboing myself or if it's actually a real thing, but I feel like whenever I mix anything, any genre, whether it's my music or another person's music, I always have like 692 hertz. There's like buildup of frequencies at 692. It's almost like a superstition for me. So one of the first things I do in any kind of like mixing, I go to the master bus and I like take like a dB off of 692 and I'm like, does that sound better? And at least 90% of the time, or maybe I just placebo myself into believing this, it sounds better. Just looking at the waveform, I can see that I didn't dial in the limiter well enough. It's getting like hella brick walled, and this is not good. But we've gone some of the way. Yeah, right. Like buffer size shouldn't influence the bouncing speed. So I think it's like OBS and just my computer using a lot of data. Is there a thing? I also don't know if like Reaper only calculates the performance within Reaper, right? So it doesn't know what's going on outside of it. But how can I check how much CPU I'm using, like in the whole Mac? That's not something I've never had to do. In PC, it's the old task manager. In Mac is like, I don't know, I'm just Googling things like performance. Yeah, whatever. Let's Google it. Or if somebody knows, tell me. Should y'all be seeing this? Classified. Activity monitor. Thank you. I do have Butler. Thank you. Okay, let's see what's going on. No, Reaper's taking a lot, and OBS is taking a good amount. But yeah, when I was testing, like before I went online, at least whatever Reaper was doing, like my CPU could handle, and then whatever extra OBS is bringing to the table is just too much to bear. And I have to keep my Chrome open for the chat. 213 threads. That sounds like a lot of threads, you guys. Coming from somebody who has no idea what threads are. I just always rely on things to work relatively okay. And then when they don't, I Google why they don't work. But I never really went deep into the hardware side of things. But all right, we're almost done. Mac is not super confusing. Now PC is more confusing to me, but this was just something I never had to do. Reaper's using a lot of RAM too, so that's, I could have done a freeze. All right, close, and then it's gonna import it into the bottom here, and I'm just gonna put it here. This thing is loud though. I'm sure, yeah, like I just eyeballed the mastering or eyeballed the limiter, but it shouldn't be this loud. So I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit and let's hear what happened. It's much easier to actually mix into the thing rather than to blindly turn it on. So far I'm okay with it, but yeah, I know once we get to these parts, it's just fucking smashed. Yeah, that's just not yoga music. I don't know, maybe they'll turn it down, it'll be fine. Or the low end is way boosted through the mastering chain, so I gotta go rebalance that. You know, Bo, between you and me, I have done that before, where they asked for like a 10-minute music and I wrote 4 minutes and Paul stretched it. Hearing a little too much bass, so that's one thing I gotta go and fix. Dial in the limiter better. One thing I can show while we're listening, or maybe I shouldn't be yapping. There's a whole lot of debate on Ryzens with audio. I don't know, Mage, if you've read about that stuff. Overall, I'm more or less satisfied with this. Like, I think I'm just gonna ship it to the clients. It's good enough. I would just redial in the mastering limiter and rebalance the basses a little. But otherwise, the whole thing sounds decent enough to me. Any thoughts? Anybody? If you got thoughts, let us know. This thing is for acoustic guitars, but I like it on pads. It just gives them warmth. It feels like putting pads through the wooden body of something. A trick I picked up from somewhere. Yeah, something like that people were saying. Again, I'm not like an expert on hardware overall, but yeah, some people were saying like Ryzen. Yeah, again, I don't even want to say things because I know I'd be talking out of my ass. But I guess if you're self-building, you probably are gonna be like pimping it. I'm very happy with my Mac Mini for anything audio related, but now that I'm getting into video editing, like I can barely run DaVinci, and that's kind of sad. So I do my video editing in Reaper and GIMP. Yeah, but everything other than the bass is sampled. And that's a bansuri, which is a Indian stringed instrument. Sorry, it's a dilruba. Bansuri is a wind instrument. It's a dilruba, which is a beautiful looking and sounding instrument. This thing. And also similar to like kemanche. It's like a bowed sitar, so it has like those resonators on it. But yeah, everything is from East West. Oh, something happened in the end there. There was like a rogue note, which I'll go and try and fix. Needs to go. I know putting a fade on MIDI doesn't make sense. It's just something I do. Yeah, it's a little bit like tune ambiguous, but I actually like that about it. I can go on a whole spiel about what I think about tuning, because it's a construct, man. Tuning is the way the government wants you to think. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, slightly out of tuneness is totally fine in my book. Yeah, thank you, Mage, for being here. It's really nice that you didn't miss this one, and don't worry about missing the last one. Hopefully I'll do more live streams, and I think that's it for today overall, everybody, because I gotta go and just like do one more pass of this and then give it to the client. This would have been a lot more educational if I could actually run the thing. So I'll do some tweaks, and there'll be more jobs like this. So we'll do another one. But thanks for being with me. Thank you, Andreas, for donating. Thank you, Michelle. Well, Michelle said, "Hey, man," and then left. So I don't know. I thought there's a question coming on. Thank you, 23 guitarist. Spasiba, Bolshoi. Chakerim to Reza. I wish I knew something in Swedish, but I don't. Thank you, Mayor Productions. Mage, as you know, obviously, as always. Thank you all, and yeah, we'll be in touch. See you later. Adios, mi amigos, amores. And Bo, of course. Psh, how can you forget about Bo? Thank you, everybody, and I'll share my final master. Taksamiket, misket, taksa, and that I don't know how to pronounce, but I probably butchered the pronunciation of that. Oh, Germany. Germany is a cool country, man. I almost ended up in Germany, but some things happened. I'll tell you that. Tell you all about it in another live stream. But adios, mi amigos. Bye.